Education is the weapon that you can use to change the world. This is the beautiful quote by Nelson Mandela. And with these powerful thoughts, we will like to welcome you all for this another podcast where you learn everything about study abroad, latest education trend, and real success story. And it's my immense pleasure and proud privilege for you that today I am sharing a stage with Alex Zimberman, regional manager of St. Lawrence College. And if you follow Kanan Visa Insights regularly, then you will notice that the very first podcast on this channel we did with the Alex. So, Alex, thank you very much for spending your most valuable time, and thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure to be here with Kanan.
Yes. So, before we dive into a student opportunity that provided by the St. Lawrence College and many other things, I would like to start with the very lighter notes. So you've been to India many times. So how's your experience in India?
Every time my experience is amazing. The hospitality, the culture, the way of life, it's always an experience. I'm always welcomed here, and I'm always welcomed at your office, which I love to come to. So I can never say enough about coming to India.
So Alex, the very first question that most of the students are asked nowadays is why students choose Canada as their study destination?
It's a good question. Nowadays, especially, perhaps more so than ever, it's coming up. And the facts remain that Canada is one of the top destinations for international students, including Indians.
Yes.
I would say specifically for Indian students.
Yes.
Not only do we already have a huge Indian community spread across the country, but in terms of affordability as a study destination and the quality of the academic programming, you'd have to go far to find a better suited type of program than what's offered in Canada. And the same applies across multiple provinces, multiple institutions, whether universities or colleges. The opportunities are there for the study and upon graduation to stay back as well.
Okay, so as an international student, if I invest my money, my time and my energy to study in St. Lawrence College, so is it a worth investment? If yes, then how?
I'm going to say that yes, it is. And I'm also going to add a little component to that, which is that it's not for everybody. And I would say that about any institution at any given time. University is for some people, college is for some people.
Yes.
Some people will be it'll benefit them to go to both, actually.
Yes.
So college, and in particular St. Lawrence College, is a unique opportunity for students because we're a smaller college in a smaller community where affordability is something that's realistic. It's not the same case across the country, unfortunately. Some of the bigger cities are going to be more expensive, whereas your purchasing power for your cost of living is going to be much higher in a place like Kingston or Cornwall or Brockville, which is where we are situated.
Yes.
So in terms of investment, you're going to get more bang for your buck. That's for sure. But you're also not foregoing the amenities of a bigger city, because even though we're smaller, we still have all those same amenities because we're built for students. We're built for student life.
So again, my question is related to the student life and particularly the campus life at St. Lawrence College, because I heard that St. Lawrence College is known for the research oriented program. Practical program is a core of the St. Lawrence College, and the success rate, the placement rate is 93.2%. So what is the secret behind it?
Well, I would say that we definitely have a high standard for our students. If you want to go and study and just get by with the bare minimum, we're not the right option for you. You're going to be tested. And that's part of the experience, because if you want to be successful afterwards, you have to be able to prove yourself first in the classroom. It's not easy to do, especially with the added difficulty being a foreigner, an international student. I myself have done it, and it's not easy. There is culture shock. That's a real thing that has an impact. But if you can overcome that and you can manage your studies at a place like ours, where you're going to have a very one-to-one type experience with your faculty because we're smaller, because we have smaller class sizes. The biggest class you're going to be in is 40 students. Most of them will be about 20 to 25. If you can come through that and really excel and prove to your faculty members that you have what it takes, you're going to find success. And that's what we drive home for all our students. We'll give you every tool you possibly could need to be successful. It's up to you to take those tools and go out there and do it. And if you do, we're behind you 100%.
Okay. And what about the exciting campus life at St. Lawrence College?
Well, if I could describe it in one word, I would say vibrant, or
Okay.
vibrancy would be a good way of saying how we are.
Okay.
As I say, we're smaller campus sizes. Kingston would be our largest, in our largest
Yes.
city of about 150,000 people. We're neighboring with a major university, Queen's University, which is just down the road. So between the two institutions, you're talking about 25, 30,000 students every year that come to town, which in a city of 150,000 people, that's a significant chunk of it. So
Mm.
a lot of the city, especially the downtown area, which is walking distance from our campus, is built, it's designed for student life. You have all the amenities, as I said previously, that you would need as a student. You've got your Indian restaurants for sure, because I know
Okay.
some of you want mom's cooking and stuff like that, but I encourage you to branch out, try some of the other dishes, the local cuisines, go and
Okay.
explore because it's a safe city, it's
Yes.
welcoming for international students, and that's what we're built for.
So what are the high demand program of St. Lawrence College?
I would say probably at this time, it would be programs that are linked to the post-graduation work permit.
Yes.
And the reason being, so with recent policy changes that have come to Canada, which many of you probably are already aware of, there have been certain types of programs or disciplines that have been selected by the Canadian government that they've identified as programs that are in need of skilled workers. So those would be the types of programs that I would be encouraging students to first look at when they come to study. Now, we have a variety of those programs, both at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels.
Postgraduate, yes.
So in the form of 2-year diplomas, 3-year advanced diplomas, which would be the UG programs, and then postgraduate, either 1 or 2-year programs, sometimes 1.5 years. But it runs the whole gambit. You have a variety of choices: biotechnology, user experience design, digital
Wow.
marketing, graphic design. We even have a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. We have a paramedic program. And we have some trades programs, which I know is not always a big seller in India, but in Canada, those are high salary earning careers.
Absolutely. So, as you say that it's not a high seller in India. So, as an international student, when I decided that I want to study in Canada, what 3 to 4 things I have to, think and I have to keep in my mind in program selection while I'm entering into a campus and why I'm looking for the part-time job also.
Okay. It's a very good question.
Yeah.
And I think it's a question that students don't ask themselves enough.
Yes.
Because things will not just be given to you. You have to go out there and work for them. That is
Absolutely.
Canadian culture. So if you want to come to Canada, you need to be prepared to work for everything that you want to get.
Yes.
I would say that the very first thing to do is to do your research about the location you're going to. If you want to be successful, you need to know what you're going into in terms of the size of the city, where it's located, because Canada is a massive country.
Absolutely.
India is big too, obviously. Canada is the second largest country in the world. You need to know where you're going and what you're studying. The purpose of a college is really to prepare you for a career. That's
Yes.
what we do. It's practical learning, as you mentioned previously.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So our programs are designed with that element. You're going to do hands-on learning. You're going to physically learn to do the things that you will eventually go into a career to do. Employers in Canada know that. So the prospects are good. They are there. Again, you have to sell yourself. You have to be able to understand the Canadian way of doing things.
Okay.
We will give you those support systems. We have a department that'll prepare you for a job application for
Wonderful.
part-time while you're studying and for afterwards when you're looking for your full-time work. But really, you need to be thinking about how much money can I make when I graduate? That is a real thing that you have to consider. And that's why the programs that are eligible for the post-graduation work permit, that's an indication straight away that you're looking at programs that should be setting you up for career success.
So, again, I heard that the alumni network of St. Lawrence College is massive, like it's a 1,25,000. So, any particular success story that you would like to share that here the student and they make a particularly for the international student?
I have a great story actually of an Indian student, a former student who worked part-time for me as an international assistant while she was studying. Now
Okay.
she did 2 postgraduate diplomas back to back one year.
Okay.
So she did project management and user experience design. Now she came to Canada. She didn't have her bearings. No, she had to sort herself out. She found part-time work. She got involved with the community, with faculty, with staff like myself, and asked the right questions. How do I get ahead? What do I need to be doing now before I graduate? So that when I graduate, I'm setting myself up where I can start not from the bottom, but I'm starting from up here. And she began reaching out to prospective employers in companies she knew she was interested in, such as IBM, SAP, big employers now in Canada.
Absolutely.
Not just within the community, but Canada-wide.
Absolutely.
And doing that, although nobody offered her a job on the spot, it clicked with them, that when a job did come up, they thought of her and they reached back out to her. Hey, this job has come up. If you're interested, I would encourage you to apply based on the information you've already given to me. She did, found major success working in a big city now in Canada for a big company and has progressed through the ranks. So, wonderful story like that. But again, I would say don't restrict yourself to just a small group of people or what you already know. It's fine to stick with your community and the people that you come over with, but it's good to branch out too. You can do both things at the same time.
Okay. So whenever the Indian student planning for the study in Canada, so the one thing that we always keep in our mind, and it's PR, right? So after completing the study, we are looking for the different kind of job opportunities, and after the job opportunities, somehow we are think about the settlement also. So in the whole process, how the college helped me?
So most government institutions or public institutions in Canada, like ourselves, will have a team of what's called international student advisors who are more often than not RISIA certified, which is a regulated international student immigration advisor. Now, they are there to help you for the process leading up to your enrollment and also during and afterwards to help you understand what it takes in order to progress to the PGWP, the post-graduation work permit, and potentially beyond that. Now, those things obviously are outside of our realm. They are with the IRCC, and that's their business. We can, of course, advise and prepare the students to understand what they're going to need for that. Again, the list of programs that I would be promoting would be programs that fall in line with those types of opportunities for a further visa to stay back. But we will provide the support, and often we have workshops in person and virtual that will help students prepare for those applications afterwards. But also I know the services of Kanan can help with the likes of those types of things too.
So being an expert, I just ask you the one questions that what trends are you looking for, particularly in Canada, so that the viewers can plan accordingly. What kind of jobs are supposed to be booming in 2025 and beyond?
Well, some of them are never going to change. Tech is always a big one. So computer science programs, of which we have a few, those are always going to be in high demand, including cybersecurity, which is a postgraduate program that we offer. Healthcare, we know, again, identified by the government as an in-need industry, not just in terms of general practitioners and actual medicine, but nurses, biotechnology, like I said before, fitness and health promotion. These are types of things that the government is driving home because those help build the communities in a healthy way, and they want more of that. Everybody benefits in the long run.
Yes.
So those are some of the major ones. The science and technology streams, as I said, are big, as well as the trades programs.
Okay, what one thing you wish that every international student should know before they coming to the Canada, particularly at St. Lawrence College?
So I won't say international in general because I'm in India and I'm speaking with you, so I'll talk specifically to Indian students. The way that you do things here is fantastic, and we want you to bring that to Canada because Canada's built like a mosaic. Every culture has come there and assimilated, and they've brought their own flair, cultural flair, and put that on the stamp of Canada. But there are some things that will require tweaking and adapting in order to fit in with Canadian society. And I'll give one example I like to give is it's always, in India, it's such a highly densely populated country. People are always standing so close together, and it's common, lines are not necessarily straight. You get in where you get in. Disembarking from a plane or getting on, you get on or you get off as fast as you can. In Canada, everything is very much by the book. You wait your turn in line. You don't push people, things like that, which seems so small. But those small little things will actually go a long way.
Absolutely. Even in the last podcast, we are talking about that if you are on time, it means that you are late in Canada.
You better be earlier than on time. They're very strict with that.
Okay. Any other 2-3 tips that you would like to share with the international student as well as their parents?
I think my parting words for both students and parents is that Canada is open. Canada wants students, and they want international students. There is a direct need for international students. So contrary to what some people may have told you or what you might be hearing, it's simply not true. The standard has increased. That's
Yes.
true. And certain things have increased, like the need to support yourself with certain finances upfront. But these are not things put in place as a barrier. These are things put in place to help you when you actually are successful in coming to Canada. It's setting yourself up for success. It's a theme that I'll return to over and over and over again. And in my 6 years working at St. Lawrence College, I always talk about setting yourself up for success. So that's the main thing. We want you, get your applications ready, take the time to do it properly, prepare, and make sure you do your research because it's going to benefit you in the long run.
So thank you so much, Alex. It's always we are wonderful to talking with you, and thank you so much for spending your most valuable time. And viewers, if you have any question, any query, any suggestion, then you can always write down in the comment section. We at Kanan is always ready to help you. We have a 500 plus employees, and definitely if you have, you can ask about anything related to study abroad, related to the global trend, related to the different opportunity. If you have any program specific questions, you can ask in the comment section and our expert will get back to you. So thank you very much for spending your most valuable time, and all the very best for your bright and enlightened future. Thank you very much.